Welcome to a new episode of the Peak Signing Agents podcast and YouTube channel. I have a very special guest. I'm DVO, your host, Derek Van Otten, and I've got Angel Nguyen from Team Signings out of the Bay Area joining us today. Hello.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm such a fan of the Peak podcast. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I'm so excited. I don't want to brag, but we're going to get together in a couple weeks with a few ambassadors. And so we're going to have a good time. And I thought, let's get Angel on here before we head out. Me and you have been talking a lot lately about our businesses, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it talking with you and your husband. So, anyway, I've enjoyed that. But I thought I'd have you come on and share your story, your journey as a notary and signing agent to help inspire the rest of the signing agents here that are trying to be not just a good or a great signing agent, but a peak signing agent, the best of the best, because that's who we want to work with, isn't it, Angel? We want to work with the best notaries around.
Absolutely. And I always tell notaries it's not hard to stand out and be that top 1% and be a six-figure signing agent. It's really not. And we'll go into the podcast on doing little things that make a big deal. So I'm really excited to be on here because I think a lot of people, when they start a business and, just being a notary, they may be overthinking these details, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, we'll get right into it.
Yes. So tell everyone, why did you become a notary? Were you trying to be a notary? How did signing agent come into play? When you were a child and they asked you what did you want to be when you grow up, did you say I wanted to be a notary? Talk us through the beginnings of this.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I was a little girl, no idea what I wanted to do. I knew from a young age that, you know, I wanted to be successful. I knew I was hardworking. I just didn't know what that thing would be.
Okay.
And from a super young age, my dad told me, you do not need to go to college to be successful. If
Hmm.
you're saying that you want to be successful, you need to go to college, that's not the right path. Of course, if you are a doctor, a lawyer, you have to go to college, right? But that's not the only way. And I'm really glad that despite during a time when college was the only way and my dad was getting, belittled and looked down on for giving me this advice, he still gave that advice to me. Um, Even when I was in middle school, high school, he told me that advice. And it was hard because my friends are all talking about like their SATs, going into college, college prep. And of course, I had college in the back of my mind. I wasn't, that was not like not an option. But I was just like, what other things are out there for
Yeah.
me? So I was just open. I'm glad my dad gave me this open mindset about what life could look like for me as an adult. And so when I was young, starting at 8 or 9 years old, I was like, oh my gosh, I live a good life. It's a good life. And then all of a sudden, my dad's like, hey, look, we're going to have to sell this house. We're going to have to sell our cars, down to a smaller home. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then move schools. My friends from my nicer house school, like my rich friends.
Uh-huh.
So I, I was like, I kind of don't want to have you guys over for play dates anymore. And I felt weird as a youngin, like seeing like social class, right? Like get moved. And so seeing that we had to move down to even a smaller house after that, seeing my dad so stressed. And I knew from a young age that I had to figure out how to make money at some point. I wanted to
Hmm.
help out my parents. I didn't know how, and they never put that pressure on me. But I was just like, oh my God, my mom is working like 12 plus hours a day at her salon that she owned.
Okay.
And it was so stressful for her. My dad was a real estate agent at that time, but it was like 08, 09, and things, you lose confidence after getting shaken up so bad from that.
Sure.
The market crash. So he was figuring out his way too, doing things like Herbalife and doing some things like MLM stuff. And he was just trying to figure it out. And I have so much respect for my dad now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of in my dad's stage right now. And so going back to your question, DVO, did I know that I wanted to be a notary? No, but I knew that I wanted to find my thing. I've always wanted to find that one thing since I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old, super young, had to grow up super fast.
I mean, all right. So you're talking about your parents here. I'm looking at my notes. Your parents were entrepreneurs then. Did
They
they
were.
did they go to college?
My dad completed an associate's degree
Oh,
at
okay.
De Anza College, and my mom had no education at all, actually.
Oh, interesting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you come from an Asian background. I'm gonna guess from your last name is Vietnamese, and, and and so you're shaking your head yes, nodding yes. And my mom's from the Philippines, so I come from an Asian background, and so social class and college education is highly coveted in Asian culture. So I'm very surprised to hear you say your dad was telling you it's not a requirement for like you don't have to go to college. But then when you tell about your dad, he's in real estate and doing multi-level marketing. Okay, it makes sense because none of those require college degrees. And my parents wanted me to go to college, but I never pushed that on my kids. So my daughter is not going to college. She finished high school, but she's doing a trade school. So I always told her, find out what you like and go there. So she wants to do hair or nails or things like that. So she's going to a trade school. So much faster, so much cheaper. Not requirement to go to college. So
Very
that's interesting.
effective.
So did you end up going to college or no, you did bypass college?
That's a great question. So, up until I was maybe 21, after so before I turned 21, I was doing like a lot of jobs, worked at a bank, worked at a coffee shop, worked at so many different places, right? To try to find
Uh-huh.
something to do. Worked at a mortgage company as an admin.
Oh,
And then after leaving a relationship with an ex-boyfriend, um, I was like, what am I gonna do? I was so lost. And then at a, valley in my life, I was like, maybe I can consider college. So I did take a semester at Evergreen Valley College, and it did not work out. I failed it. I could not even complete a semester. Didn't work out.
okay.
So I gave in. My
All
dad
right.
was very supportive. He was like, "You try this." But in the
Yeah.
back of my mind, I know he's like, "Come on, girl. Come on."
He was like, this is not for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped out too. I'm a proud college dropout. So,
I love that.
so here you are. You want to be successful. You know you're going to be successful. You just need to find your thing. How did the seed of becoming a notary get planted in your brain?
Absolutely. So my dad is a real estate or was a real estate agent, now
Uh-huh.
retired. So he had a sign off, and he was like, Angel, this guy was like really bad. Like I had to yell at him, and I was like, Dad, don't yell at the guy, right? Like he's just trying. But he was like so mad, and he was like, Angel, why don't you try doing signings? Like you could have signed for my clients and it could have worked out. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, let me just see this. And then somehow I saw this guy screaming at me in the middle of the night. I'm doing some research about notary and I see an ad, and we all know who this guy that's screaming at us is. It is the one, the only Mark Wills.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this really resonates with me. Like, you can make money pretty quick and get your investment back. So I went in the course. I
Okay.
loved it. Loved his energy. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can be crazy and kind of loud and it's totally fine." And the thing is that before I fell into the notary world, I remember I had I was working at my aunt's insurance agency, just doing paperwork.
Okay.
I was probably making like, I don't know, $50 a day or something like that. I was
Okay.
just doing something to do something, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I had like this, I was helping people with like, getting enrolled for health insurance. And so I had my little bit of taste of having a business a little bit, having a health insurance agency business to help people get
Oh,
health insurance.
okay.
Yeah, wasn't making much. So I was like, okay, I don't know how long I can pursue this. And so when I saw notary, I was like, wait a dang on minute. The money that I'm making from my aunt's insurance agency plus the health insurance business, like I'm running back and forth to my aunt's insurance agency to make sure I get there in time between signings, like,
Uh-huh.
and whatever I make with my insurance, like at my aunt's, it's I could do that with signings, and I just need like maybe 2 signings a day, and I'd be good.
You're right.
And so just realizing that I don't have to keep killing myself to, work a job when I can just do the same amount of money doing signings, less effort, more money. So when it finally clicked, I was telling my parents because I wanted to share this revelation with them. And they were like, Angel, you have something good going on at your aunt's insurance agency. Are you sure? And I'm like, I'm so sure. Like, I was
Uh-huh.
so sure because
Yeah.
the numbers just made sense.
Right. And I like what you said here. Less effort for more money. That's the reason why a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs or they want to start a business or they want to become notaries or signing agents because they want less work for more money. And it's not that you're not working any harder than anyone else, but basically the effort of the job entails is not so difficult. Print paperwork, go over paperwork, sign paperwork, ship paperwork. Like it's simple. I mean, it's not the easiest thing, but it's a simple process. You're right. So
Not only
great
simple, but
concept that you saw
it's
that.
so efficient. Like, I want to
Yes.
be more efficient with my time. And I realize that all these jobs that I am taking on up until this point were, they were my stepping stones to what my real career is. You have to try
Yeah.
so many different things until you find the one where you're like, okay, wait, okay. If you guys watch this interview with Kevin O'Leary talks about how you need to listen to signal versus noise.
Hmm.
So all those jobs were noise, which I'm grateful for. It was part of
Yeah.
my journey and needed it. But then notary was my signal. And so when I felt, okay, wow, clients are enjoying my work, it's not so bad, even though my first signing I cried, but I can do this. And number 3, something is just pulling me to notary. I don't know what it is, but I think this could be my break in life.
Interesting. So Kevin O'Leary, if anyone's not exactly aware with or familiar with that name, he's one of the sharks from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, and I love Kevin O'Leary. I think he's amazing. I think he's wonderful. And so I'm gonna look at that. Is that something I can find on YouTube?
Absolutely. I will send you the
Okay.
link right after. And it's so interesting how he was the one to help Steve Jobs with creating a lot of his software, I believe.
Oh,
And Kevin O'Leary would work very closely with Steve Jobs. And he learned from Steve Jobs that he knew what to stay concentrated and listen to and what was noise that, can be worked on later. So the signal is so important.
that is so interesting.
Signal versus noise.
Signal versus noise. I like that.
Yeah,
So I'm writing down my notes here. I hope you
absolutely.
all are taking notes as well, or re-watching or listening to this because this is really good stuff here. So yeah, so you started finding your niche. You're like, okay, no, Notary World is it. So you told was it your aunt you said that you were working with? Yeah. So
Yes.
you said, sorry, I gotta try this. I need to go buy a printer. What were the first steps for you?
Exactly. So I was lucky because my dad was super supportive.
Oh, good.
I wasn't making any money. And so having my dad assist me with getting like my scanner, my printer, and you know, I just realized, looking at my dad's history, I noticed that, you know, I just needed to put in all the effort and just really give this a shot because I knew that if this doesn't work out, I kind of don't have anything to fall back on. Then I have to
Okay.
try again. This will be part of like, the one of the jobs I try.
Sure.
And something just told me this was different. So I really wanted to go all in on this. And then something that I did in the beginning of my notary journey that made it fun for me because I need to have fun for me to get really into something,
Sure.
right? I need to enjoy every part of my journey. Otherwise, I'm going to burn out and quit. So I started posting on TikTok about things that were working for me. Like when I was forgetting my my pencil bag or my journal,
Uh-huh.
I thought, okay, how can I remember to bring it and I can tell the world maybe someone's dealing with this issue too as a notary.
Yeah.
So it was called the touch method, where I'm like, okay, before I go to a signing appointment, I need to physically touch the I saw and touched my journal. I touched my pencil bag and my stamp, and I saw it. Because there were times when I would go to an appointment mid-drive, I'm like, oh my God, did I bring my documents? Did I bring my notary stamp? But when I
I've been
remembered
there,
that I
yeah.
touched it and I had that motion and that visual,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, I remembered it. So I had to share it
That's
to the world.
funny.
TikTok made it fun for me, and I just posted whatever I think that would be interesting or that helped me.
Yeah, I heard 'cause you're taking the loan signing system course, and then Mark Wills had you speak at one of the panels at one of the conferences, and you talked about that. How many followers did you get from TikTok?
Can't remember. I think I might be a little under 28,000, something
Yeah,
like
that's a lot.
that. Thank you. It was
But
fun. It's fun. It's very easy to get viral on TikTok, by the way.
oh, okay,
Very
interesting.
easy.
I know people keep telling me I should do it. I'm like, I just don't have the time. I would love to. Or I'm too lazy about it. I don't know. One of them. I don't know
I
what it
think
was.
I think what it is, Divya, is that you have such a great thing going that it's like if it's working, like go all in on that, and that's great.
Right.
And then when you have time, you go into TikTok, like all good. You're doing good
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. And so how was the process getting going? Did you start marketing direct? Were you just working with signing services? How was your journey like?
Oh yeah, I remember that journey very clearly. So I had to go the signing service route first. That's
Uh-huh.
what felt the most comfortable for me. So January 20th, 2021 was my first signing that I did. You can't forget that date. You know what I mean? Like it's that date where like you sweat so much. You have like heart attacks as you're driving there, while you're there, when you leave, when you ship the documents. I remember, oh man, it was a crazy day. It also, let me mention that my first signing was a signature by Mark. So the man could not sign. He had to do an X, and all of his
Oh,
family members was around him to video record me and doing this whole signing.
oh my.
It
Because
was
he
a
was
whole
just like
family
he didn't have
affair.
the capacity to really sign his name. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was disabled with his hand, and so
Okay.
we need two witnesses, and luckily he had like 10 family members around him.
Okay.
So
And one of them is
it was
recording and he's just
one of those recording.
he's just like marking an X or whatever. Okay.
Correct. And then little did they know, maybe they didn't know, I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them that this was my first signing. I didn't want them to get
Right.
scared.
Yeah.
And so I tried acting like I knew everything. I was so nervous. I forgot my phone in the car. And I think that was the universe trying to save me because I went back to the car and I looked up so fast. I looked up how to do signature by Mark.
Oh.
I was like, no, this cannot be my first signing. There's no way. I had no idea walking into this that it would be a signature by Mark.
Uh-huh.
So know your notarial laws, people.
Yes. I mean, you said earlier, is this is the one you said one of your first signings you cried at? Was this that one?
That was the one because I didn't get a lot of help from the signing service. Like I would call them beforehand. I even tried getting a hold of their IT director, like the extension, to talk to their IT, be like, hey, IT, I'm so sorry. This is not the correct extension, but I need to talk to the signing service because I have questions on the documents. So
Uh-huh.
people would get back to me, and then I would have follow-up questions after. So I would call again, didn't get an answer. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the signing. Whatever happens, happens. I'm going to work with what I got. I got to be
Yeah.
resourceful, right? I can't just quit
Yes.
on these people.
Right.
So I go there and then do the signing. I come home. I'm in tears. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, guys. My whole family's like, girl, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I mean, not like girl, but like they're like, don't worry about it. It's fine. But I did not feel comfortable shipping what I had. So I
Okay.
looked on the FedEx label and I was like, hey, these people are in San Jose. So instead of me shipping it, I'm actually going to go there and
Okay.
get answers because I don't want to have them get angry if I didn't do the correct work.
Sure.
So I went there and I was like, "Hi, I did a signing for you guys and I just want to make sure everything looks great. I don't mind waiting. Can you look at them really quick?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." And
Okay.
they're like, "It's
Okay.
literally fine. Don't even worry about it." I'm like, "Okay, great." Little do they know I was panicking all
Right.
last night.
So, I mean, when you said you didn't have anything to fall back on, were you basically full time from the beginning?
In the beginning, from January up until I want to say end of June, or was it July? So like the first through like January through July, I was working at my aunt's insurance
Oh, you're still
agency.
doing that. Okay, got it.
Right. Just to have like, fallback. But
Yeah.
she was very, very gracious and lenient and was like, girl, if you need to, go out and do a signing, like do your signing. Because she's
Okay.
been running her
That's
own
good.
company on her own before without me. So she'd be fine with or without me. And she's very supportive. So I could do my signings, just run, take off whenever, right?
Right.
Um, and then it wasn't until June, July where I was like, hey, I'm kind of running back and forth to the office to these signings and like rushing. And I just didn't want to do that anymore. I
Yeah.
wasn't giving her the attention that I once was giving. I felt bad too. So I was just honest with her and I said, "Hey, I'm really enjoying this notary career and I think I want to take it to the next level." And of course, like she's an incredible businesswoman. She's like, "Go for it."
Oh, that's nice.
Very thankful for her.
Yeah.
She took me in when I really needed her, and then she was like, "Girl, spread your wings."
Okay. I've got two questions here from what you're saying here that I need to ask more questions on. So, first of all, this first signing you did, I don't know if you know the answer or not, and if you don't, that's totally fine. But I'm just curious. You don't need to tell me the name. But do you know if that signing service is still in business?
Oh yeah,
Oh, they are.
very
Okay.
much thriving.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I always wonder, because I know I see a lot of notaries in groups that they get mad at the signing services and they're thinking, oh, no one ever answers their phone. And here's a prime example of you trying to call and get answers and no one's answering. And for me, running a signing service, I always felt like that was something I wanted to make sure people had access to, is they had access to somebody to ask questions because in the end, we all want to sign properly. But we'll get into more of your signing service journey a little bit later. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is you said because you left your phone in the car, you had to be resourceful on the fly. And I think that was a good understanding early for you because so many notaries, they just kind of shut down, like, okay, I'm not getting answers. I don't know what to do. And they freak out and they don't know how to handle it. But you were like, no, I can't quit on these people. That's what you said. I can't quit on these people. I have to be resourceful on the fly. That is a good adaptation from the beginning because I think a lot of people freak out, understandably. I understand this is new for a lot of people, and when you don't have the answer, you can't get hold of anybody. Understandably, it's easy to freak out, but you were resourceful, so that's very good. I'm sure that has happened many times in your early beginnings that you had just become resourceful. The other
And you know
thing,
what,
oh
Nico,
yes,
can I say something really quick?
please.
I'm wondering if, and I'm so glad we're kind of diving into this because I don't think I've ever talked about this before, where maybe the resourcefulness came from the Asian background of like, when your parents don't know how to speak English and like, hey,
Uh,
here's the phone, like talk to them, right? And you're
yes,
like, I
happened
don't
all
know,
the
what
time.
are you talking about? Like, okay, hi, and you just want to help
Yes.
the other person
You're
on
like,
the
I'm
other
10.
line.
I don't know how to talk this grown-up talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like IRS, what?
You're right. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
And so I think that, and also too, the jobs that I had growing up, like I worked at Jamba Juice. I had a little
Uh-huh.
stint at Shoe Palace. Oh
Okay.
my gosh, I have so much respect for people who work in shoes because, like, in like 30 seconds to a minute, you need to find three shoes that, like, if you can't find the shoes, you got to find three other shoes that you think they might like in their size
Wow.
and that's very similar. And these
Uh-huh.
shoe boxes are everywhere. So I think that people who don't have that muscle and are like, okay, I'm not going to do the signing, maybe they just weren't put in environments where they had to have that responsibility. So everything in life is a muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to be
Absolutely
put in those
agree.
arenas all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I want to take from what you were saying earlier is your parents were very helpful and understanding, and so was your aunt. How were other family members or friends when you told them you were going to be notaries? What was their response like?
That's so funny that you mentioned this. My dad was very supportive. My mom, I love her. She was doing the best that she could.
Okay.
He was like, Angel, you need to go to college. Like, come on. So she would try to convince my
Uh-huh.
dad to convince me. And she would
Got
also
it.
tell me, like, come on, look, everyone's going to college. When my friends ask me what college you're going to, what am I gonna say? Like, I knew she had that. Like she said it in a Vietnamese way, right? But I felt that. And I
Uh-huh.
felt bad that she had to carry that shame with her. But I just knew my dad was onto something.
Uh-huh.
So my mom, even up until yeah, even up until a while, my mom was pushing me to go to college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, until I started making six figures, then she didn't say anything anymore.
Makes sense.
As far as my friends and family, other friends and family, very supportive.
Oh, that's
Like my
good.
husband, when I was doing real estate for a little bit, um, anything better than real estate was happy. Like that would make my husband happy because he saw how stressed out I was in real estate. Like, I don't know if I can say this, but
Sure.
borderline suicidal,
Okay.
because I just could not get it. And it was during a time from when I was 21, got out of my relationship, didn't know what I want to do. I was really young, impressionable, and just not in the best state. And I jumped
Okay.
into real estate,
Okay.
So I understand why I didn't, I wasn't successful during that time, right?
Yes.
Um, and so I love that notary was kind of like my saving grace, my stepping
Oh, good.
stone. And so to answer your question, my friends and family overall were very supportive.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
That's good. Most of my friends and family are also, I mean, some people are just like, what, are you sure? Especially my in-laws, they're like, you can just go to the bank and get a notary. And I'm just like, well, that's not all I'll be doing, but I get what you're saying. But I was same
Mm.
situation. I saw some videos of Mark Wills on YouTube. I'm like, but look at this guy. Look at this video here. So
Wow, DVO, can I ask you,
sure.
um, so how did it feel? Like, did you have moments of weakness where like, man, maybe they're right, Like, what was that like for you?
So I had done other entrepreneurial endeavors, trying different types of businesses. I've tried um, starting up a janitorial business, a tree service, a security, like doing security for venues, finance. So I have I've tried to be an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember, and just kind of struggled all along the way. So I was used to the failing. I was used to it just taking a lot of work and not really going anywhere. And I just thought, okay, this is just another attempt. I just didn't want to quit on myself. And I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep going until I can find that niche that works for me. Just so happened to be notary.
Wow, this is your break. Like, this is what
Yeah.
blew up for you.
Yes. Yeah. Because I've had roller coasters of success. I get things are going great, then things are not going so good. Then oh, they're going great again. So I've had a roller coaster of success up and down. But the moment I became a signing agent, it's been all upward the whole time. And I've been doing it for 8.5 years now, and it's all gone upward every single year. Even even in the year I fought cancer, I still had an up year. Yeah, it's just my thing, I guess. This is what I
Wow,
was made for. Who knows?
yeah, that's just a true testament to your mind. Your mind is so powerful, DVO. Like, your positivity, like, just cured your cancer.
I think so. I think it's a big part of it. I think your mind is so much more powerful than we realize. I think it really is. You can go through a lot. I know. I mean, you're a young mother, and when you have a baby crying and you're not sleeping, you're trying to run a business. I bet it's hard at times, but your mind pulls you through it because you're like, I need to build this business. I need to take care of my child. I need to take care of my husband, and I bet it just keeps you going. And
Can
your
I say
mind,
something?
yes, please.
I get a lot of help from my family. And so I just want to say for the moms out there, I know how hard it can be to ask for help, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You're like,
Yeah,
I want to do everything, but please get all the help. It'll make you a better mom, a better wife, a better business
absolutely.
owner. Please accept all and any help. I get so much help around the clock, which is why I think team signings is as successful as it is. Um, because I get my 9+ hours of sleep, and sleep is so important. It's so underrated. So, moms out there,
Oh, it's true.
please get your sleep.
Everyone needs to get their sleep. It's true. That's something that as I'm trying to get healthier, that's one thing I realize. I'm like, I need my sleep. You
Yeah.
definitely need it. Speaking
And how do
of,
you,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, DVO, really
No,
quick.
no.
How do you de-stress?
I do things that make me happy, whatever that is. And and to do that, sometimes I need to talk to my wife beforehand to let her know, excuse me, what my plan is. So I think whatever you need to do to make you happy. So for me, the week Sundays are when it's nice weather. I need a motorcycle ride. I need to just pull back on that throttle and get up in the mountains and just put my headphones in and just cruise. And that just de-stresses me out. And but I just can't do that. I have to talk to my wife. I have to let her know, like, hey, honey, this Sunday I need to go for a motorcycle ride. She's like, okay, thanks for letting me know. Then she can kind of plan her day for that, and I can just take off. So that's like a big thing for me is my motorcycle. That's become my big thing. And reggae music. Reggae music calms me down, makes me in a good mood. And on the motorcycle in the mountains, that's just my happiest place.
Dang, we got to go to a reggae club in San Diego then. Got it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's cool. I'm
exactly.
very similar as well. Like, I have been more intentional about finding time to de-stress. Like, I see it as a requirement in like a business task,
Yeah,
you
that's a
know?
good way to look at
And
it.
exactly. And I do the same. I do drive around and just listen to my favorite songs, find new songs, and go to nice areas and just dream and like, wow, how am I gonna get here? You know, like,
Hmm.
wow, these people are so lucky. And I'm also grateful for where I am, but I'm like, I like to dream and just see like
Yes,
how other people live and like, wow, what if this is me driving to my house right now and visualizing it?
I love that. I want to talk more about that. But before I do that, what are is that for you? That's what you like to do to de-stress is drive around in nice areas?
Yes, and
Okay.
listening to good music, and also too, I love to get head spas. So, although
Oh,
I love full body massages, it's something about like sitting at a desk all day, scheduling
yes.
orders, and it's my shoulders and my neck and my head. This part right here that really needs attention, especially the head, right?
Yeah.
I carry a lot of tension here. So, head spas they're getting more popular actually.
I never even heard of that, so I'm very interested in it. Where they just kind of massage your scalp
They
and
wash
put pressure,
it
wash it.
and you hear like nice like water sounds,
Yeah.
and like you hear like you smell nice sound like you smell nice like aromas that they're doing your head. And I'm just more of like a shoulder and up type of girl.
Okay.
Like I don't care about the rest of my body, but it's more like my shoulders and my head and my neck.
Yeah. I go to a place nearby me and they you keep your clothes on and you can wear whatever you want. So like I wear just like use like a gym t-shirt and a gym shorts, and they focus only on your upper like shoulders and upper back and your feet, and they just focus on those two areas really, and that just is really nice for me because it's like I don't really. I mean, I like the whole body massage, but sometimes I just need like concentration. You're right, like on like my shoulders and head and upper back, and then my feet, and then I'm like I'm good for a while.
Yeah.
So
It's just those
okay, I
specific
like that.
areas.
Where did the process or beginning start for you of driving around in nice areas? Because I want to talk about that as well.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, when I was 8 or 9 years old, we lived in a really nice house.
Uh-huh.
And that area is maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from me. And I haven't lived in a very, very nice house like that in many years. And
Okay.
so it's nice to just go back up there and just be like, wow, like just be grateful that my family was able to accomplish that. Like I can do that too. If my
Yeah.
dad can do that, I can do that. and just getting inspired and seeing how, like, I mean, not in a creepy way, but just like seeing how people live, like people when they walk
Yes.
the street and just like people watch sometimes. It's very relaxing and motivating.
Yeah. I'm with you. I did this do the same thing. My dad used to do that with me and my brother. And we would drive around and he would show us like he's like, look at these houses, imagine living in these houses. And he would do that with us. And then he would also do things like, hey, if you were going to start any business, what would you want to start? And my dad would implant these dreaming exercises with us, not even knowing he was intentionally doing that. And because he would say, I want to start a bowling alley. My dad would have these ideas. And then he's like, if we could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live? And he would say, he would say, I want to live in Hawaii or La Jolla, California. And he'd make me and my brother do that with him. Again, it wasn't really an exercise, but it was just like us, he just made us dream. And I loved doing that. The problem was my dad took zero action though. So he loved the dreaming part, and then that ended there. But he didn't wait. But I don't think he realized what it did is it implanted in me. I'm gonna dream. Okay, all right, but how do I get that though? How do I get that house? How do I get that business started? How do I do that? And I had to search elsewhere for my mentors, and that's why like Mark Wills is my mentor because I was like I need a mentor to help me get to those things. So I like that you would do that because I used to do that too, and I do that now. I have a vision boards, and I take my kids, and we do the same type of exercise as well.
That's
So
interesting. Your dad taught you that exercise, not knowingly, but he
right,
taught you that exercise. That's like the heavy lifting of it all because you can
yeah,
do the tactics, you can do like, the weights, right? But if
right,
you don't have the mindset to keep going every day and to push you through, it's a very hard road because you'll give up and you got to
yes,
try again.
right,
Your dad taught you like the mental toughness and to be creative. There's not that many creatives that much in the world,
it's true.
it I feel that there is a lot of mediocrity in the world, so
Oh
that's
yeah,
why it's so easy for signing agents nowadays to really stand out. Because for as long as the world is average and that's like the standard, we're gonna do amazing. Like when I come into an office and I just like light up through and I'm like, "Hey guys," and they don't even know me. Right? I'm like, "Hi everyone, I
right.
just bought these treats," etc. Right? It just stops their pattern. They're like, "Whoa." I'm used to people just being monotone,
Uh-huh.
no exclamation points, no emoji.
Yeah.
And then this girl's coming in with energy and she wants to meet me. Like she's grateful for the work that I do. What? I better stop and talk to her.
That's
And
that.
honestly,
Yeah.
notaries don't even need to be at high energy. It's just when you like are just smiling and you're just like actually genuinely happy to be there and serve, like it stops people from what they're doing. They want to just listen to you. You pull them in. You're like a magnet.
It's true. I mean, I have the start here from one of my notes from early on that you talked about, and it was about standing out. What did Angel do to stand out above all the other notaries in her area that made her get all this work? I'm curious what you did or what
This is
you think you did.
Oh my God, DVO, I did not expect to enjoy this conversation so much. Can we take a step back?
Sure.
So even before notary, right? Because I want people to really think about their past and how their past can be used as a super weapon for them, a superpower.
Okay.
So even before notary, when I would do all these jobs, when I worked at a coffee shop, when I worked at the bank, I noticed that when I'm more happier and chipper, it changes people's mood and they left me great reviews and I would get more tips or I would just get more benefits,
Uh-huh.
right? From the
Yeah.
job. And so I realized like, hey, no one's really talking to the customers. No one's even really giving them a smile. Like this is my uniqueness, my
Yeah.
unique value proposition, my way in to stand out. So I noticed that with all my jobs, I was trying to see where I can stand out, where that lack is that I can fill, the opportunity gap.
Yeah.
And so coming into notary, having that mindset or like that mission or that goal to find that opportunity,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, um, signing seems boring. I'm gonna light them up. And so when I come to the signing, right, I'm just like, hi, and I'm like, I'm so excited to meet with you. Congratulations on your home. Oh my gosh, it must have been like, a journey for you to get to this point. Like, I'm so happy for you. And then at the end, we take pictures and celebrate the moment. And they would just feel like a rock star
Yeah.
for getting to this point. And then same thing with my signing service, right? Like I was like, okay, how am I going to stand out? Because it's kind of like a new business. Like you would think transitioning from notary to signing service would be like, okay, all your clients are going to jump on board. But no, it's not like that.
Right.
I'm sure you probably feel the same. And
Yes.
so when you transition, right? I was like, okay, what do my clients actually really need? And so I focus all in on that specific thing, that niche. The
Okay.
entrepreneurs right here.
Interesting. I love what you said. You got to find your uniqueness. Yeah. What's the opportunity for you to really stand out? And another word that you said that I really liked is you said the word serve. What does that mean to you as a signing agent or as a signing service? What does that mean to you to serve?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I'm employed in a job, right, I want to do the best I can in that position and serve the people that the company wants me to serve to the best of my abilities to carry out their mission. And so learning from the loan signing system and being with around people like you that like of course the business is going to come, the money is going to come, like that's
Yeah.
no doubt. But you have to give a great service, right? And enjoy the
So true.
process. And of course, his money is going to come. You don't have to worry about the money. Like, first of all, I need to have fun and enjoy it, right? Because it's my business. And number two is how do I really knock them off their socks? Because, the people that come to my house, like, the pest guy or like the guy
Uh-huh.
who cuts the trees, he's, kind of like whatever, or the plumber, he's kind of annoys me when he doesn't take his shoes off when I
Okay.
tell him to take off his shoes, and then like, it's like, you want to just wow your clients and wow
Yes.
the people that you're serving because again this world is so average, so mediocre. That's the baseline. So when you're like you just kind of have that sparkle in your eye, people are just like, wow. I don't want to explain it, but like you just want to live a full life and like kind of in that short moment that you have with somebody, like make it electrifying. We're
Oh,
not on
I
this
like
life for
that.
too long.
Yeah.
Why not enjoy and max out this opportunity that you have with somebody right now? And of course, listen, I have my bad days, and and even on my bad days, I'm just pleasant. That's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all you got to be is
Yeah.
pleasant.
Yeah. I that is a great perspective. When you know it's just not your day, doesn't mean doesn't mean you have to bring other someone else's day down. You can just still be pleasant. Yeah, exactly. I did a signing with somebody and he had a question. We're waiting for the lender to call us back, so we're just kind of sitting there. And I was just asking him questions. Like, okay, oh, what do you do? Or things like that. And he just looked at me. He just smiled and said, I'm not in a chatting mood, or I don't feel like chatting. But he wasn't mean about it. So I was like, oh, okay. And like, it didn't bother me because he wasn't mean. Like, you know what? He wasn't like, I don't feel like talking right now. Or why you keep asking me questions? He just said, I don't, or I don't want to be friendly, or I don't want to have small talk. He said something like that, but he just said it calmly and nicely, not mean. I was like, okay, not a problem. But yeah, he wasn't in the mood, but he didn't have to be a jerk about it. So I told my wife that and I kind of laughed. She goes, well, gosh, he was being a jerk. I'm like, I don't think he was. I mean, I think he was just telling me up front he didn't want to have these conversations and he didn't want to have small chat and it didn't bother me. I was like, okay, just don't let things bother you. I was like, he doesn't want to talk. That does not bother me. All right. I'll just play on my phone then. Till the lender calls.
Wow.
So
I commend him because that takes courage to make sure, like, when you say that,
yeah.
like, okay, I commend him and also commend you as well for taking it so positively. But it takes like knowing yourself to say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to chat right now.
Yeah.
'Cause if I were to say that, a part of me is like, oh, I don't want them to feel like disrespected. But he's like,
Sure.
I know he's not, he felt so comfortable with you that he could say that.
That's a good way to look
And he
at
felt
it.
comfortable with himself too. Like if I say it, he's gonna get it. Like, I don't want to push
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's a beautiful conversation, actually.
Yeah, it didn't bother
It's
me.
very
Like, okay,
honest.
yeah, it was totally fine with me. Yeah, and then when we got his questions answered, we flew through the paperwork. I mean, 10 minutes later, we were done with everything.
Wouldn't it
So
just hurt
yeah,
you inside if you knew that inside he was just trying to force a like a good conversation, but inside he was dying. He was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm
Right.
glad that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if I'm asking these questions, he's like, I don't really want, okay, let me just appease this guy. And then I'm like, I was later on, I'm like, I was just trying to be nice to this guy. He was just a jerk to me the whole time. But he
Yeah,
just told me up
we wouldn't
front.
want that.
I don't want to have small chat. Okay. Not a
Yeah,
problem. I'll just play on my phone. I just pulled my phone out and, that's fine. So,
absolutely. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, love it.
so let me ask you this. Let me pivot here. From the time you were became a signing agent until the time you decided to start a signing service, how long do you think that took?
So I started January 2021, right? And then
Uh-huh.
after 8 months, went direct.
Yes.
And then after 3 months from the time I went direct, so from August until November,
Yeah.
that's when I knew that I was saying no signings and taking it on. And I
Okay.
just hated saying no to clients. And I love that Bill Zuniga worded that perfectly, because I want to serve, right? I want to give a solution. I didn't want to say no, because when I did say no to clients, I would say, I'm so sorry, I can't do 11 a.m., but I can do anytime at or after 3 p.m. I don't know
Sure.
if that works. They would just tell me no, which is fine. And
Yeah.
then I was like, how else can I serve them? And I can't just, and I'm capped out at like, 8 or 9 signings a day.
Sure.
And so I was like, and it was also wearing on my body too, a lot of signings. And I just made a decision for myself. I'm like, I want to see my family. I don't want to come home angry, full of junk food, and just money. Yes, I know I was doing well in my business, but
Yeah.
I wasn't happy. Like, I was grouchy with my friends and family.
Mm.
And so I was like, let's just try a signing service.
Okay.
Having mentors like Mark telling you like, hey, you can do it. There's another option for you too. And telling and having him push me to think bigger and having an agency, that was really helpful.
Yeah, because I want to talk about because I think some people are made to start signing services and some are not. Some are just made to be signing agents, and that's fine. What do you think um, about the person that says, "Well, I don't want to start a signing service. I just want to be a signing agent."
Yeah. It's really what your goals are with your family and life. If you think, doing signings a couple times a day, and you like kind of that up and down and seeing people, and it doesn't bother you, then do it. Like how I was telling you about the whole TikTok thing. Like, if you're enjoying like doing podcasts and your current marketing strategy and it's working for you, then do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay to be consistent, and while something's great,
right.
we only pivot when like we need a pivot, or like when
Yeah,
you feel it's ready, right? Or when
right.
you're sick and tired of your situation, then you pivot. That's your signal. And so I have been learning on my journey that I have been switching to different, like endeavors and different strategies, that I should just be consistent at something and just see it through.
Right.
So going back to what we were talking about, with a notary deciding if they want to do the signing service route or not, if you're enjoying being a solo notary, then just keep doing it until you want to change. It's your
Yeah,
business. And
right.
if you're like me, where you're like, well, I'm really tired and I can't keep going to like 5 or 6 signings a day. Even 2 is kind of like pushing my max. Like, I'm just getting tired, right?
Right.
Then go the signing service route and surround yourself with mentors who are willing to share information. And the great thing about people like you, DVO, and the loan signing system community is that, like, we're just all really giving with information, because I know
Right.
that if I give you the recipe to my sauce and you freely give your recipe to other people, they're going to do it differently. They're not going to do it the way you do
It's
it. So
true.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm not worried about like, sharing what I know.
Exactly. That's why I do this. I'm like get as much information as I can out there, because it just benefits all of us anyway. If we all do the best job, it just benefits us all. So exactly, people as signing services, we'll hire the best notaries that will return our work good, and we stay in business with our clients. And as notaries, we show our value so that they understand why we get paid 100, $200 per signing because we bring a lot of value. If as a signing service, I'm sure you see a lot of things come through from notaries. What is a tip that you want to share with everyone watching or listening to this?
I love this question so much. I the first thing that came to my mind is like very neat penmanship.
Oh, okay.
Especially for those recordables, we don't know what escrow does on the back end to fix our errors until they tell us. And when they tell
Yes.
us, they're really taking the time to stop what they're doing to tell us. And a lot of times they don't have that time. And when they don't have that time and they're kind of frustrated in the moment and they just won't use you anymore. So I'm
Yes.
going to tell you guys right now that penmanship is everything because if they have to correct your stuff, or let's say that they have to ask you to send in a new certificate. It's time that's wasted, right?
Right.
It could have been prevented if we did really nice penmanship and also reminding signers. This is a latest tip, by the way, because our escrow officers have been saying that because they're doing more e-recordings with
Okay.
the county, when they're looking at the document and the signature covers the text, they can't see what the text is.
Oh,
Before e-recordings, they would bring the actual documents down to the county and the county can really see, okay, that's the printed text. Okay,
yes.
this is fine. But now with e-recording, we have to make sure that the signatures do not cover the text and the signatures stay above the line. Very neat.
Yes, that is a good point because if people don't understand, when they're e-recording, electronically recording, they're doing it off a scanned copy. And as you know, the more copies you make, the more, it's not as legible, the more copies you make. So they're scanning it, they're going to try to scan the best they can. So you want to make sure it's very legible, the penmanship, but also the words on the document because they are legally binding documents.
Exactly. You want to feel really proud about that work, the work that you are submitting to your signing service or the escrow officer. If there's lines going down your PDF or the pages are out of order, it's just not that like beautiful bow, bow on a package that you want to give
Yes.
to somebody. Like when I send a scan back, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to love it. It's one PDF, it's super clear, it's in like color as well. Oh my gosh, they're gonna love it. Like I feel excited to submit my scan backs.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably have good penmanship though.
I
That's
didn't always
oh,
actually.
okay.
So I've had to learn over the years. And when I would look at signers' handwritings, especially the teachers, I would copy their handwriting.
Oh, okay.
Like I would take notes, like, oh, okay, I see how she did the H. I'm gonna start doing the H like that.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
I learned a lot of things, DVO, from signers. Like, you know how sometimes there's signings or documents with a lot of initials at the bottom right?
Yeah.
I had this one lady, she would like, instead of her initialing and flipping the page over, creating two stacks of
Yeah.
papers, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She would just get her one stack that she has to initial everything and just initial everything right at the corners, like right off the corners, like just flip through the corners.
Oh,
And of course, there are documents where there's initials like at the top of the page, middle of the page.
yeah.
For my job as the notary to review everything, make sure she gets it. But she was so efficient with getting all those initials at the bottom right corner. And
Interesting.
can I say something, DVO, really
Yeah,
quick?
of course. Oh, you muted yourself. Yeah.
Oh, is everything
There.
better?
There.
Is it okay? I'm sorry. So DVO, if you don't mind, I do want to share this one thing that I noticed from notaries
Okay.
is that when I send correction requests to notaries,
Yes.
um, I will get this response, and it's kind of my pet peeve, where they'll go, "Oh man, the signer missed that. I told them to write in their mailing address." And I tell the notary, look, we as a signing agent, it is our responsibility to make sure that they write in everything that
Yes.
we need. And so at the end of the day, it's not their fault. They did hand
No.
the paper back to you, and you need to make sure that they filled in everything.
Yes.
Take responsibility.
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. I said, hey, they need to put their mailing address and their social security on the 1099. Oh, I literally had this happen like a week or two ago. Oh, I told them to do that. Okay, but when you got the paperback, you should have checked that it was done then. Because sometimes you
Exactly.
tell, okay, sign date, initial, okay, put in your address, put in your name, sign it, date, and the initial at the bottom. They're not going to remember all that stuff. So when you get it back, you need to make sure. I mean, you should be watching them anyway, do it, but yeah.
You need to watch them like a hawk
Yes,
at all
exactly.
times. Even if they say that they've done this a million times left and right, those are the people I actually watch more
Yeah,
because they're the ones that are flying
they're
through
flying
everything. I
through
gotta
it.
correct their work more.
Yes, you're exactly right. All right, let me just end with this. If somebody was going to say, "Hey, you know what, Angel, I think I want to start a signing service too," what is a really good tip that you'd share with them? Just like one good golden nugget.
Absolutely. One golden nugget is you've got to surround yourself with good people.
Mm,
And what I mean is that this journey of being an entrepreneur is so lonely and you can really talk yourself out of it.
yeah,
There's a way. If me and you can do it, DVO, like we have to be around people who are doing it. And
right.
if we keep surrounding ourselves with people who aren't doing it and they're trying to help us and give us advice like, hey, look at other options, it's not going to
Right.
help you what you want to do, which is start a signing service. And so having that community is so important and don't not being afraid to ask for help.
Yes,
I think that a lot of people don't realize their dreams because they give up on themselves too quickly.
I agree. I agree. So many people they give up so quickly, and maybe it goes back to that what you said earlier, the mediocrity of people's mindset. Sometimes it's like, this it's getting a little difficult here. Maybe now's the time to quit. It's like, nah, you just got to keep going through it.
Right. And being aware that things are so instant and just keeping that in the back of your mind that this is the world that we live in is that everything is so instant. And so, yes, you're feeling like you want to give up. Be aware of that, but don't act on it. Like just rest and
Yeah,
not think about work. Those rest periods are so important. And, you know, get therapy to be honest and talk to people about
yeah.
how you're feeling and remembering what the bigger picture is. Like, why do I want to start a signing service? Oh, because when I keep doing signings, like let's say you want to do your signing service and you're in a valley where a really low point,
Yeah.
and then you go back to doing signing service appointments and doing signings on your own with directs, right?
Right.
You'll be reminded of that pain, like, oh my gosh, my back is hurting, I'm getting grouchy. And then that's the part where I'm like, see, that's why I need to start a signing service. And I journal about it. And it just
Oh,
it just gets bigger like that. I'm thinking like gum, like it keeps
yeah.
getting bigger, and then you just get sick of your environment and where you're at, then you really want to change. I think that's
So
for me.
good.
Like I'm the type of person where I have to be sick and tired of my situation and angry at myself, then I will change.
I think a lot of people are like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the pain of change you have to go through. And then you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired of it. Say, time to make another change. Oh, that's great. Well, Angel, if a peak signing agent said, "Hey, I do fantastic work, Angel, you need to hire me," how can they contact you or how can they follow you? Share that.
Oh my gosh, I would love it if they could follow me on team signings
Okay.
and tell me what's one unique value proposition, what's one unique thing that they do to really stand out as a signing agent.
Oh, good
You
one.
can do me a video, that'd be awesome because then I get to put a face to the name and then we get to build that way. It's so different, right? Like
Yeah.
versus them just typing something up that they're probably chat GPT. But like when they
Right.
do a video, I'm like, man, they're real, they're raw. Like this
I
is like a
like
real
that.
guy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be anything crazy. Like, hey, I've been working here's my resume. Like, just talk to me.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
Like, this is how the video could go. Hey, I saw you from Derek's Peak podcast. And one thing that sets me apart from other signing agents that my clients love that I do is I have great penmanship. I know my final cutoffs. I'm super communicative. When you sign me our first order together, assumption, you know what I mean? The assumption.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we work on our first order together, I'm going to confirm the appointment within the hour. I'm going to keep you updated. What do you think, Angel? Can I get on your list now?
Wow, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I like that. And you know what? That's a good way for all these peak signing agents to really stand out is to send a video like that's good. I've never had a video sent to me. Sometimes I just get an email and it just says, my name is Joe and I live in Pennsylvania. I'm like,
And-
that's it? Like,
Or they
dude.
said all the cities and the zip codes. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah,
all
I'm
of
not
these.
a geography major. I don't know where that is.
And something that I would recommend that people learn is to watch YouTube videos like School of Hard Knocks or like, Alex Hormozy, where when they speak, it's very selective words that they use and pauses
Yeah,
to be an effective communicator. And of course, when you start your personal development journey and improving your speech, you're going to sound horrible. That's how we all
right.
start. And you're going to mumble. But at some point, you want to jump on that video and just be like, Angel, I went and saw you on the Peak podcast. The number one thing, and you want to do like dot, 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 like kind of like pause to get my
Yeah,
attention. The number one thing that I've seen that's made me successful and I want to make your company successful is XYZ,
wow,
the
that's
rule of three.
good. Yeah, that's really good. I took a lot of great notes here. You can see here. I appreciate you, Angel, coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope everyone watching or listening will re-watch or re-listen to us a couple times because I got a lot of great notes here that I think is going to help my business. So I appreciate you doing that and sharing that. Thank you all for watching and listening. Thank you, Angel, for coming on. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks from the time of this recording. Looking forward to our meetup with our other ambassadors. And we will see you all on another episode next week. Bye.